Do you ever wonder if we did this on purpose? And by this, I mean we found a way to dim our own light. We let our imagination stay in the back seat while we found new destinations and worked hard for 20 plus years, only to realize that the sky had been our limit the entire time. Because anything beyond that became something unrealistic. Whether it be an accident or a survival tactic, I want nothing more than to have my human back. Because at least it comes with childlike innocence and a confidence they now call delusion. If I could, I would run back to when it all made sense. When the aha moments were worth more than they are today. Do you wonder if we did this all on purpose, can we do it again? All right. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. A lot of new faces have joined us since the last sit down video that I made. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Sydney, and today I want to talk about the subtle art of delusion. So grab your water and let's sit and dive into the conversation. There's no real structure to this video. I kind of just want to talk about what I've been learning and seeing online. So recently I've been seeing the conversation around being delusional instead of being realistic. People wanting to have real conversations about this idea of what it means to be realistic. I think from what we've seen in the past few years, collectively, we understand that life is unpredictable, that you can't really control many things in life, but you can control how you respond. Even in getting prepared to film this video, honestly, I was trying to control so many different things, like the lighting and the look and the feel. It's just like you have to go with the flow, and I think the most organic things that come from you are the most impactful. As it relates to this idea of being delusional, basically people are saying, stop living life as if everything is just like so cut and dry or so black and white. We live in a very binary world. People often assume that you're either this or that. And this division is really how our society operates. It's almost as if you can't really be along the spectrum or outwardly be along the spectrum in so many different aspects of life, politically, as far as your sexuality, your gender. Almost seems like you always have to pick a side. That's not how we actually live. Nothing is that black and white. So when we think of reality, quote unquote, the whole idea of living in the real or living realistically comes from this mindset that is really rooted in capitalism and the effects that capitalism has had on our society. Specifically in the Black community, I really feel that being realistic is something that we hold tight to, because it's almost as if we don't be realistic about our lives, then that automatically means that then we won't be successful or we won't be okay at the end of the day. It's crazy how tightly we hold on to this idea of being realistic, because in actuality, as the world is shifting and moving, what it looks like to be realistic is also changing. So a lot of our parents, grandparents have this certain idea of what it looks like to be realistic that is so different from what life looks like now. And then a lot of us, Gen Zers, millennials, who are kind of in the middle of that and seeing the growth and the evolution of life itself, we're kind of tasked with figuring out what realism looks like for us. I think that's why this whole idea of being delusional has come up. It almost feels like being delusional is the new being realistic. It's the best way to live your life. It's the healthiest way to live your life. And oftentimes, it's where you find a lot of your own personal success. On my channel, I talk a lot about success and actually finding your own personal definition for what success looks like. And I think that in our efforts of trying to figure out what success looks like for us, we've seen that living your life as if anything could happen, not just the worst things, but the best things, is how you find that success. When we think of the Issa Raes of the world, the Kanyes of the world, Kanye's recent documentary actually came out, and it literally showed how quote unquote delusional he had to be in order for him to get to where he is now. There weren't a lot of people that actually believed in his dream. He just believed in it so much that it came to fruition. Now, just imagine if he had actually gave in to what other people were saying about him or society's idea of being realistic in this world, and he would never have reached the kind of level of fame and status that he is at now, because he wouldn't believe that he could actually attain that. You probably already know this, but success is not just about manifesting. Even though that is a great part of it, it's also about you moving in that and working towards that. Even if you're working towards that and you're working towards something that you really, really want, if you are not mentally there and feeling like, okay, this is actually going to happen, I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know what the exact timeline is going to be, but I just know it's going to happen. If you don't have that, then you won't get there. Those two pieces won't come together. Or when you do get there, you won't even recognize that you're there. I really like this idea of living in delusion. Essentially, it's not delusion. It is just having a heightened level of confidence and faith in yourself to be able to achieve something. And just thinking about how things move energetically, if you are consistently on the energetic wavelength of the things that you are trying to manifest, then they're more than likely going to manifest into your life. But if you're not energetically there, then it's going to be harder for you to reach that. You might have some sort of blockage, whether it be internal, self-doubt, self-deprecation, self-sabotage, or external, other people criticizing you and the way that you think and the things that you do and letting that get to you. I've definitely seen that in my life and the negative effects it has on my own progress. If I was consistently listening to the other people around me, which I have, but if I've consistently done that throughout my entire life and haven't given myself moments to just believe in the things that I want to do, then I would not have achieved so many things that I believe to be successful. I think it's really, really important to have a certain level of delusion, especially if you feel like you're stuck or you feel that you're having some sort of blockage. Then maybe go out and do something that you've never done before. Try something you've never tried before. Humans are naturally accustomed to routines. There are certain things that we're just constantly doing all the time, and if you feel like your routines are not really adding to whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you have some cutting out to do. And it's not easy to always recognize these things in our lives. It can be as small as changing your diet, or it can be as big as moving to a new city. So I think it's really important to do a self-audit and figure out, okay, what am I doing in my life or what is around me currently that's causing a blockage, that's not allowing me to live fully in whatever it is that I'm going for or feeling or manifesting right now. There's a creator, but I loved the way she explained this idea of delusion. So she talked about a situation where her mom didn't have enough money for the family at the time. She was struggling to pay that month's rent, and she, the creator, had gone out one day, and this lady, I guess who's a family friend, gave her some money. She was like, I really have to give this to you. I really have to give this to you. This is yours. Here, take it. And she didn't explain why. She didn't say, you know, this is for your mom or this is for your family. She didn't say anything other than like, this is for you. I really need you to have this. I think she was like 9-10 at the time, I don't know, but she was pretty young, and it was a lot of money, and she didn't really know why this family friend was giving her this money, but she decided to take it home and give it to her mom. It turns out that the money was the exact amount that they needed to make rent that month. It's so crazy to me how we will see that and still not choose to live in delusion, or just choose to live as if the world will move for us. essentially what she said was that her mom has always lived by this idea that if you push on the world, then the world will move for you. And when it does, don't be surprised. Even when I look at my own life, that quote by itself is so inspiring, and I've seen it in my own life time and time again. For example, about a year ago, I told you guys about how I was struggling to pay for college. I did not know where the money was gonna come from. Every single semester, I was just like, please, somebody is gonna pay for it, but I know that it's not gonna be me. I was constantly in financial aid office trying to ask and see if they had any scholarships available. I was applying for scholarships. I wasn't getting anything. My senior year of college, I had a balance and I could not graduate without that balance being cleared. One day I had thousands of dollars that I owed, and the next day it was zero. Like I said, manifestation happens when you put in the work and you are on the energetic wavelength of whatever it is that you're manifesting. And I'm not going to say that I didn't have doubts. Like I said before, nothing is that black and white. So I can't sit here and tell you that I didn't have my doubts and I didn't feel as if I didn't know whether or not this was actually going to happen for me some days. But I still had to push through that and choose to still believe in it anyways. And when I did, that's when I saw the change. It's in those moments when you do feel that energy of doubt or fear or whatever, it's in that moment that you choose a different mindset that everything around you changes. I firmly believe that we live in the reality that we perceive. So if you truly believe in something with your entire body, your entire mind, and your whole heart, then that is your existence. That is your reality. So to wrap up this conversation, I do believe in balance. I think that being realistic is just understanding your environment, wherever that may be, understanding what you can control and what you can't, understanding how the world around you is operating, the systems that are in place, the definitions that people are sticking to and abiding to. Understand that and be aware of it, but also have your own self-awareness where you are cutting through the noise and actually getting to wherever it is that you want to be, because that's your reality and that's all that matters. So yes, all of the creators that I mentioned will be down below. I would love to hear some of your stories of just kind of moving through life and pushing on the world as if it will move for you, living in delusion. I want to hear all of it in the comments below, so let me know and I will see you guys in the next video.